Hello, darlings. Welcome back to Talking to Tequila with Chloe. Happy Wednesday. We are back with episode number 4 of Talking to Tequila with Chloe. Me, Chloe. Now, I do wonder how many more times I'm going to say that before I stop because it's like, obviously, it's with me, Chloe. Like, I'm Chloe. It's like, do I have to state the obvious? It's like, that's like in the Mean Girls movie when she was like, there's a 45% chance of rain as she's standing out in the rain. Like, am I that girl? But you know what? She's cute and quirky. Like, I wouldn't mind being that girl. Now, straight off the bat, I want to say we have a plethora of, we, it's just me. Dang. That's a little depressing. I do have hopefully mics and new stands coming to have a more of a group dynamic here in the next few weeks. But, I have to save up for that. I'm not like rich, honey. So when I say we have a very packed and exciting show for you, I have a packed and exciting show. There's so much going on this week. I don't even know how we're going to get to everything, but nevertheless, I will do it. We're going to be covering, of course, the fires out in Los Angeles, a little co-host catch-up, Tequila Time, Tequila Time, which is the new segment in replacement of T3. And Jenna, I do want to say thank you, shout out. You are the one who gave me that idea of Tequila Time, which I love. Of course, this week I'm going to be doing a full in-depth Manjaro jump-in update that will be toward the end of the show. So if you're not interested in hearing about GLP-1s or Manjaro or weight loss, go ahead and skip through that. Even though, honey, please support me. Like, be real. Can we just be real for a second? You need to support me. You don't need to, but I'm just assuming if you're listening to this, you would want to. Then my new segment, Fab or Flawed, which we will be getting into. And then, of course, the weekly Sarah. Now, the first thing I do want to say is, if you were in Los Angeles, I know this is extremely trying times. If you were in any area, the Palisades, anywhere that has been affected by the fire, I do want to say, I am so sorry. I am thinking of you. If there is anything I can do, please DM me. I have a ton of merch I could possibly send. Not my merch. I have a bunch of sweaters that I can send you. They are not sweaters that I created. But I do have boxes full of never worn things. Like, please just DM me. I could possibly send something out to someone. I don't have a ton of stuff, so it'll be like first come, first serve. But let me know. I have been donating to the LA Fire Department. But if there is anywhere else that you guys know of that has more immediate financial helpings for people, please DM me that and let me know, and I can share that on my Instagram. I would say share it on Instagram just because I don't know if TikTok's like shutting down this week. We will be getting into the TikTok ban. We'll be getting into Spidey. Like, we'll be getting into all of that, okay? But I just want to say, if you have lost your home, I am unbelievably thinking of you. Any way that I can help, please let me know. If you are dealing with like difficulties breathing, the air quality, all of that, I do just want to say it's horrible, and I'm thinking of you. I know the Santa Ana winds are still kicking up. I know that there's still fires that need contained. I've heard that the containment is slightly better, but it's really like a day-by-day basis. Shout out to all the firefighters who are helping. I know there's like over 4,000 firefighters there. Shout out to Canada and Mexico, our sister countries who are sending supplies, personnel, just everyone really pulling together. I don't want to get choked up because this is not about me at all. I have nothing. I have no connection to the fires at all. A few of my listeners have let me know that they are out there, but they are safe, and I am thinking of you. But it really is a testament in these hard times when everything seems so fractured that, and it seems like everyone is fighting and Canada's mad at us and we're mad at Canada and we're coming down on Mexico and Mexico's still trying to help us. Like, I mean, I'm not coming down on Mexico, but some people are, and it's like at the end of the day, if we need our sister countries, like they are here for us, I hope we reciprocate to them. I hope we are just as readily available to them as they are to us. I think it's like a great testament to humankind and humanity. And I'm just praying for everyone. Now, let's do a little bit of a catch up. If you are watching on YouTube, you will see we have a new setup going on. I have this fancy Rode boom arm. It looks very professional. I am in this beanbag chair because I'm trying to give a little bit more of, conversational, Chloe conversation time, talking to tequila, chatting away, slay comfy nation. That's what I'm trying to give. Of course, I still need to finish my attic studio, so this is just an interim. I have a little bit of decor in my back corner here. There was someone who said to me, get that picture out of your frame. Like, I want to see you talking. And I did it. Like, thank you guys. Everyone who's DMing me ideas, thank you so much. It really is helpful. Of course, the little decor is slightly fuzzy in the photo, in the frame, but like, that's because I'm on cinematic mode, honey. I'm trying to give you guys top-notch quality. I do just want to give another little update. I was saying last week how I can't match my audio to my video. My YouTube is trash. And I feel bad for everyone who's trying to experience a totally like slay visual experience extravaganza, darling. And guess what? I freaking figured out how to get my audio and my video to match on YouTube. So last week's episode 3 on YouTube actually is good quality. Like, I figured it out. And when I say I figured it out, what I did was I made my friends help me. Like, I have a really smart friend, Brandon, and then I have a co-worker and friend, Sam, and I freaking made them help me. And you know what? Brandon figured it out for me, like, actually in 5 minutes. That's why I love him so much. But at the same time, like, I should have done that starting episode 1. But you know what? I needed to give it the good old college try. By the way, like, where's that phrase from? Give it the good old college try? What does that mean? Does that mean try college and then you couldn't do it, so you dropped out? Which I would be fine with. I think college is overrated, to be honest with you. You know how they say when you go to college, oh, you'll be able to make $100,000 a year. Well, guess what? You won't have to make $100,000 a year if you don't have $100,000 in student loans debts to pay off. Like, my brother and sister have way more money than me saved in the bank. And they didn't go to college and I did. Like, I'm in debt like this. Now, is some of that my own doing? Of course. But at the same time, even if I pay off all my normal, like, credit card debt, I still got a damn boulder of student loan debt on my neck. And my brother does his own power washing company where he had to invest like a few $1,000s into equipment and of course hard work and muscles and stuff, which I'm not willing to do. But he's got way more money than me. You should see the engagement ring he gave his fiance. And then my sister went to hair school, took her a few years to pay off that student loan debt. Now she's rolling in the dough. So anyways, I don't even know what I was talking. Oh, the good old college try. So I had to give it a good old college try the first few episodes. Okay, that's enough like housekeeping. I cannot keep talking about talking shop. Let's play a game. Every time I say my podcast or talk shop, take a shot of water or Diet Coke, or I'm going to say lightly tequila, but you need to stop if you're getting hammered because I cannot stop acting like it's like, what is the saying? I want to talk shop, but the shop shouldn't talk shop because you don't want to hear about admin. Now, let me move on to more personal stuff. I signed a contract. If you don't know, I am a travel nurse and I have had no prospects, nothing on the horizon. I finished my contract in Boston December 14th, and since then I've just been working at my home hospital in Pittsburgh. Picking up, scrounging, like literally trying to get shifts, which they've actually been quite accommodating. But still, it's like every week I never know, like, am I going to get 3 shifts this week or not? Only for literally at the end of last week, and it happened so fast, it was fabulous. I saw a position posted in Maryland. I clicked, I'm interested in it. The next day I had a interview. That same day I signed the contract, and guess what I just did today or last night? I signed a lease for a place, and I what's the word? Oh, sent the security deposit. Now, here's a fun thing about traveling. You really never know until you get there if the place where you signed the lease and sent the security deposit exists or not. Like, that's really the fun thing about it. It's like, I found a place on Furnish Finders. Furnish Finders is a website where nurses can basically find like all in one housing, like 1 month leases or 3 month leases, all utilities included, furnished already. Like, you literally just have to bring your body there and your clothes. But Furnish Finders is very similar to like a Craigslist or something like that, where you are like kind of verified, but kind of not. Like, people have been allegedly, in my opinion, per what my friends have said, like scammed on Furnish Finders, where like they get to this so-called place and it actually does not exist. I think this place exists. I FaceTimed with the guy who's renting it, and he seems okay and he seems trustworthy, but I'm a horrible judge of character. I mean, I can be a good judge of character. Normally, if I meet you right away and I hate you, like, you actually do deserve to be hated. However, like 50% of my best friends in life I met, and right away I hated them, and then now we're best friends. So when I say he seems trustworthy, okay, like, I don't know what the hell that means to me. Like, I'm a moron. But nevertheless, I think it should work out fine. Now, what I want to say is the hospital that I'm working at is in Maryland. But it is like directly in between Baltimore, DC, and Annapolis. If there is a triangle, I'm right in the middle. That's my hospital. So when I was talking to the managers on the phone, they were giving me recommendations on towns to live in, and they said, honey, hit up Annapolis. So I did. So I'm moving to Annapolis, the Annapolis area, because I heard the food is fabulous and there's people out and about. I may take up jogging when I get there because I feel like that's what people do in Annapolis. Like, I kind of feel like I'm going to be there and there's going to be these people in these like starch pressed uniforms and like people in like brown shirts and green shirts, like running around like jogging. And I might do that too. I'm not going to try to blend in with them because, of course, like, look at me. Do I look like an Annapolis student? I believe Annapolis has some kind of school there, some army school or something, or some military school, or the Marines. Annapolis is a military town. I believe so. I mean, there was a movie named after it, for Christ's sakes. But I think I'm just going to like run around and be like this. Hey, like that. Like, kind of like, oh yeah, just all of us working out. And maybe I'll become a runner. Now, I will kind of say, I'm going to touch on this for 1 second. And Lord forgive me, it's only 13 minutes in. But I'm just going to say it. I really would have thought that the very last place I would want to be come January is 30 minutes away from Donald Trump. Yet I find myself being at about 30 minutes away from Washington, D.C. Now, I would just like to say quickly, because this week is a very odd week. It is the week of the inauguration. It is the week that maybe TikTok is getting banned and going away. Now, you may say that like, oh, well, why does this affect you? One, if you don't know, like, I popped off on TikTok. That is where the inception of all this came and where I got the confidence to make this podcast, Take a Shot. From the girlies and the guys and the gays and the theys and the thems on TikTok. I did lose my train of thought. I'm going to come back to it here in a second. Oh, so the TikTok ban will directly affect me because when you come across my podcast, Take a Shot, you're going to be like, well, why did she think she could start a podcast? And then you would go to my TikTok and go, oh, okay, because that girl's got almost 90,000 followers. She might be onto something here. Now, if it gets banned and you see my podcast and then you click on my social media, you're going to be finding yourself on my YouTube or my Instagram, and you're going to go, oh my God, we just came across a delusional woman. She has 200 followers on YouTube. That's right, 200. And she has 2,000 on Instagram. What in the hecking dog would give this woman the idea that she could start a podcast? And they're going to never know that I had 90,000 fabulous people telling me, slay, queen, genius, I could listen to you talk all day. You put me to sleep at night in a good way. So soothing, comfort creator. They're going to have no idea that existed. It's going to be about 3 comments per post on my Instagram, one telling me to shut the hell up, another telling me I'm ugly, and a third saying, slay queen, I like your outfit. And they're going to wonder why the hell I thought I could do this. We will get into the ban more later in the episode. Secondly, why does the Donald Trump inauguration affect me? Because I have a brain. Because I have to afford to live in life. Because I'm a woman. Because my sister's gay. Because my boyfriend is Hispanic. Because I'm actually functioning with a brain between my freaking ears. Not to be dramatic. But I do want to say one thing I wanted to touch on. I'm not just going to rip on Donald Trump for the next 5 minutes. I'm going to report a news story. Those are in quotation marks. I'm not even in the tequila time yet. I'm just saying it. Because we were talking about Annapolis in D.C. As we all know, Jimmy Carter passed away. He's an ex-president. You are supposed to fly your flag at half staff for a month after the death of a prior president. And guess what they announced on Tuesday? They announced that Donald Trump is allegedly, in my opinion, adamantly wanting the flag raised fully for his inauguration day. Even though it's disrespectful, even though no one else would have ever done that. So guess what they're doing for his inauguration day? Because this little man could not tolerate a flag raised at half staff. I hope I'm saying that right. They're going to raise it all the way for his inauguration day. And then they're going to put it back down when they're done. So I'm just saying, that's freaking insane. But I'm going to get off of that now. All I am saying is I never thought I would be in Annapolis in January, yet here I will be. You know, just working away, making money. Thank God I found another travel contract. Who knows what the price of things are going to be come January, February. I will say one other thing quickly. I hope, because all I can think about right now with the LA fires is the amount of rebuilding that we are going to have to do, the amount of rebuilding that people are going to have to do in LA County. I saw a statistic the other day that said just the Palisades. The Palisades are not even what all burnt down, but just the Palisades alone is bigger than all of Manhattan. New York City, Manhattan, the Palisades are bigger than the entire island of Manhattan. And it's not just the Palisades that burnt down to the ground in Los Angeles. Malibu, Palisades, some parts of LA, like actual LA County, I believe. Do you know how much is going to have to be imported to rebuild that? And they're talking about putting tariffs on. These homes are going to cost double, triple what it would cost to build if every single plan that Donald Trump has in store, he actually does. I am hoping and praying that because of the fires, maybe there's a realization for him that he cannot put tariffs on. If all the other arguments that people have given him in the past didn't move him, I'm hoping the fires do. Because people need to be able to afford to rebuild their homes. Also, to the insurance companies that canceled the fire insurance, FUCKYOU. See, that's why this episode this week, I'm like scared to even do, because I want to be a release for you guys, but at the same time, there's so much real shit happening in the world right now. Like, I'm not trying to sound like a cuckoo woman, but like everything is connected. Everything is connected. Like, why people want to know after the Luigi Mangione thing, people want to know, why do insurance companies are people too? You guys, these are hundreds of thousands of people who had their fire coverage canceled one freaking month before these LA fires. Like, it is devastating, and they have nothing to fall back on. I saw on the news a 90-year-old man, 90 years old, like, I'll just have to figure out how to start over. He's 90. These insurance companies need to be held responsible. Like, there needs to be litigation against them. There needs to be some kind of law that they cannot just do whatever they want to these people. Like, we need to protect our citizens. We need to protect veterans. We need to protect kids. We need to protect drag queens. Like, people cannot just shit on whoever they want because they have money and power. Honestly. Let me get off my soapbox of that right now. I'm sorry. I was just trying to give you guys a catch up, and look where I found myself. All right, let me reel it back in. I just reeled it back in. Okay, back to my life update. I signed a contract in Maryland. I'm definitely going to be doing that traveling for sure. I had my interview for the year. I don't know if I think I didn't exactly say what it is yet because I don't want to jinx it, but I did have my interview in Pittsburgh for my like soft nursing job that pays a little bit less, but would be like a little bit more mentally soothing to me. And guess what? When I had my interview with them, they posted it as being full-time only. But when I had my interview with them, they were like, actually, it's going to be part-time. Is that a problem? I was like, no, that's not a problem. They're like, oh, 1 to 2 days a week. I'm like, fabulous. So I did say I would have another job. Would that be a problem? They said not at all. So I'm going to continue down that road of also finishing my interview. I'm on to the next phase of the interview process with them because I might do both jobs. When I tell you I am committed to paying off my debt this year, I am committed. If that means I have to work 3 days a week in Maryland, drive back up here, work 2 more days up here, drive back down there, I will do that. Like, I will do anything. I am committed to paying off my debt this year. And I know before I said, like, I'm not doing resolutions, and I really am not. But what I'm going to do is have really large goals in like 3 of them. 1, I want to get my house in order. I am doing a little tiny renovation right now. Nothing is being broken down. No walls are coming down. I bought cans of paint. Okay. But paint can refresh a lot. I want to get my attic cleaned out. I want to get my kitchen drawers cleaned out. Little stuff like that. Like, I want to get my house in order. I want to get my podcast studio set up. Take a shot. I want to pay off my debt, and I want to stay sane, and I want to work out. I think that those are very obtainable things. It's like 5 things. My 2024's goal freaking resolution list had 35 things on it. Like, oh my God, like, that's insane. So I'm going to do 5 big things that I think throughout the year I can handle. Now, I want to get into tequila time. When I say you guys delivered, you really did. Like, I ask you questions and then you come to me and you give me answers, and they're good answers. So last week I was saying I really did not want my like meat of the podcast to be called T3 anymore, because I kept saying like the T and 3, which is a segment bite from some other podcaster I know. So I was like, help me please. I can't come up with a segment name. Why did I not think of tequila? Like the tea, give me the tea, give me the dirt. T-T-E-A, Tila. That's a double entendre, a play on my name. So the other thing I like about tequila is it doesn't necessarily have to have a set number of stories. Now, I will still try to focus on like 3 hot topics that week to kind of just like have a beginning, middle, and end. But I really just love it. It really opens up my world. I do want to say also quickly, I love my new setup. My Rode arm makes me look extremely... I think my tongue is too big for my mouth. Did you just hear me? It makes me look extremely professional. I did just want to say that. Please pop over to my YouTube if you're curious to see what I look like. I look like a businesswoman. I look like a podcaster. And I am in my big beanbag, which I love, and it's very uncomfortable. Very comfortable. Now, I will say, will my legs be numb when I get up? Yes or no? I'm sitting crisscross applesauce. So will I be able to move my toes? I don't know. We'll find out. But the first story I want to get into for tequila time is, of course, the rise of Spidey. If you don't know, Spencer and Heidi Pratt are one of the celebrities that lost their home in the fires. I think it is obvious to me. I guess it might not be obvious to other people, but Heidi and Spencer are not like, they don't have a steady cash flow that comes into them. Like, they are very much B-list celebrities. They, I'm sure, make a little bit of money on social media, but in general, they're not like rolling in the dough. They truly are a group of reality TV stars that were kind of forgotten from the 2000s. So Heidi and Spencer lost their home in the fire. They do not have a plethora of money sitting. They don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars in, brand deals. So let me tell you something. Spencer Pratt lost his home and he hit the ground running. He has been nonstop posting on TikTok since the day that the fire started, because one thing I will say, when Spencer was in his prime, he really was like the villain of our generation. But and I'm not going to act like I didn't think he was a villain at the time, but to be honest with you, I never watched Laguna Beach. I never watched The Hills. So when I knew him as, quote, a villain, I just knew him from like social media stuff. But man, when I say that he really throughout the years kind of proved everyone wrong, like he has always put his family first. He's always put Heidi first. He is always like lifting Heidi up like my beautiful queen. I mean, even though he did come off as like abrasive and confrontational on his TV shows, at the end of the day, he has said many, many times before, like on podcasts and different things, he was given a character, he understood the assignment, and he, played into that. I don't really think he's this like horrible bad guy who's like really not self-aware. He knew that he was needing to be entertaining. So he hit the ground running when the fires happened, nonstop posting on social media, because at the end of the day, he is one of the people that's going to have to rebuild his entire life. Now, of course, there are a very small group of people that are giving him flack online. Like, if we're going to give people money, it's not going to be you. Like, you're a celebrity, you're rich. But I really do disagree with that. I mean, I don't think they have the kind of money we think they have. I think they have almost nothing. I think they have to work every day to make ends meet for an extremely flamboyant type lifestyle. I mean, don't get me wrong. They are better off than a lot of people. But to me, like, I'm donating to other causes as well. The Firefighters Association, things like that, LA County firefighters. So I am giving my money to people who truly, truly need it. And again, please DM me if you know of like really on the ground organizations that are giving money like straight to people's pockets. I want to donate to that as well. But all Spencer is doing is saying, like, please watch my TikToks and stream old music that we have on iTunes, because that's revenue that'll come into us. So I'm not even donating money to Spencer and Heidi. I'm literally just giving them views on TikTok so they can get paid through the creator fund, I'm assuming. Now, with all this being said, apparently, I don't know if it's their agents, whatever management company they're with, The streaming platforms are seeing what's going on. Everyone is on Spidey Talk. Everyone is viewing their Spencer's videos, posting his videos. People are streaming his music, like Creep Nation Diplo, don't like him, but like he's posting that he's streaming the music. Claudia Oshry is streaming the music. Perez Hilton is streaming the music. A bunch of his old castmates are streaming his music, or Heidi's music, Heidi Montag's music, to try to get revenue into them. But these streaming platforms are seeing what is going on. And apparently there was a very interesting meeting with Hulu that Spencer talked about. And he said, hold on, guys, it's not just Hulu anymore that we're in meetings with. There are other platforms that want to give us a show where it's, Heidi and Spencer rebuild their lives. So I'm almost positive we will have what is probably going to be a pretty quick turnaround of a reality TV show with Heidi and Spencer. And with all that being said, I do just want to say, shout out to Spencer for being the husband no one thought he would be. That is someone willing to put like all humility aside, stay up all night long, post nonstop to get that TikTok revenue, continue to lift up his family, his wife, like really be present for them, and like do what needs to be done. And by the way, I believe every second when Spencer talks about Heidi's music that is now #1 on the iTunes charts because everyone is pulling together to get them the income that they need to rebuild their life. When he says like, my beautiful wife, Heidi, who's so talented, the voice of an angel, pop princess goddess, I believe he means that in totality. Like, he thinks Heidi is a pop princess icon. In back when the Hills was streaming, like everyone thought he was just like full of shit, machismo man, using Heidi, wants her to be a Barbie, all this shit. And it's like, no, he turned out to be a freaking great husband. A better husband than a lot of husbands that I know. So I just want to say shout out. I can't wait for the reality TV show. I think it's going to be freaking amazing. I'm sorry, Spencer is unbelievably entertaining. And honestly, it seems like they're probably going to be fine, which I am grateful for. We should be hoping everyone affected by the fires is fine, and is able to recover. I know that there's a huge amount of people that are donating, but I really want to try to figure out when we donate, like, Amazon is committed to donating. Beyonce is donating. Jamie Lee Curtis is donating. There's a ton of people that are donating. I do want to know, though, what are we donating to? I know that there's going to be a huge cleanup initiative that needs to happen. But how do we donate to citizens? Because that's who I want to donate to. I'm sure that people are having GoFundMes that they're creating, but like I do want to make sure that there's a way, because Heidi and Spencer posting on TikTok and being part of the creator fund is directly going to their pockets. And I know that it's going to help them directly. I would like to make sure other people that are not financially set, because by the way, who the freaking hell is outside of literal tens of millionaires? I want to be able to give them money directly. Which kind of brings me to the next tequila topic, which is the TikTok ban. As of right now, I'm gonna open the fourth wall. Today's Tuesday, but I'm recording for the Wednesday episode. So I think it's the 14th? But yeah, it's the 14th, but this episode's airing the 15th. So as of right now, TikTok is going to be banned on the 19th. Okay? That is literally in 5 days from now. But apparently, and this is what is a little bit annoying because I feel really jerked around, and I'm not trying to be like I'm not trying to be harsh or anything, but like I actually feel like I'm getting whiplash. Like I can't tell what's going on right now. So what we know for sure is on the 19th, TikTok will be banned. However, on the 15th, which is airing today, the Supreme Court announced, and I'm going to be looking at my notes because I want to make sure I get this right. The Supreme Court today is going to announce their TikTok opinion, because TikTok presented to the Supreme Court whether or not the ban will not go through, whether or not they're going to uphold the ban, or whether or not they're going to extend the decision-making time, giving TikTok more time to be open on the platform, on the App Store platform. Now, that's one part of this. A second part of it is today, apparently Senator Markey put forward into legislation a 270-day extension until the TikTok ban. So the Supreme Court could put an extension in, which would just give them more time until they make their decision on what they want to do. But at the same time now, Senator Markey also put a separate legislation forward to try to give a 270-day extension for people to have more time to understand what the ban would do and how it would impact economics. Now, on top of all of that, President Biden or President Trump could also put forward an extension or basically say that they're not going to uphold the ban. Now, of course, Joe Biden will not be doing that because he's the one that was actually in agreement for the ban to happen. Donald Trump is now saying that he doesn't want the ban to happen because that's why he won the election. Whatever. I cannot stand Donald Trump. Even if he does make TikTok not go away, I will never be like, he's an asshole, but that one thing was kind of cool. No. Fuck you. Anyways, sorry to be crass. My dad might be listening. I'm so sorry, Dad. Everything else will be positive, but I just had to say that. Not that he likes Donald Trump, but my dad doesn't want me to swear as much. He wants me to be a positive light in this world. So it's nothing to do with Donald Trump. It has to do with he doesn't like when I get rowdy online. Sorry, Dad. Now, with all that being said, and with no one knowing what is happening, on the TikTok platform itself, there is like mass chaos going on right now. People want to mobilize to other apps. People are talking about getting on Red Note. People are talking about getting on Neptune, which is still in the beta phase. Those are two other things I want to touch on. Everyone is saying, what's the next app to go to? Hear me out. I don't think it exists yet. To me, the video platforms that really went bananas were Vine, which shut down in 2017. And then the next one that really took off was TikTok in 2020. Now, I know TikTok existed before that. Musically, people were saying, oh, well, Twitter was popping off. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an app that consumes your soul and your mind that you can scroll on for hours with video, where creators have ample opportunity to make revenue, to promote their own businesses, for communities to be formed, for engagement to happen, for conversation to happen, for really easily streamlined communication between creators can happen. That is TikTok. There is no other app right now that is comparable to that. And now I know people say download Red Note. I looked up Red Note. You guys, and there is a huge mobilization going there. They're calling them TikTok refugees, which is like kind of cute, but I don't know how I feel about that name. It is all in Mandarin. Apparently, Red Note is the Chinese version of TikTok. And when we really talk about the cold hard facts and not a trend, because what I believe right now that is happening with Red Note is it's a trend. TikTok is not ever going to be Red Note. Red Note is the Chinese version of TikTok, which is all in Mandarin. And I know that they're working on translating the app to English, and you can change the setting to English. But at the end of the day, like 95% of the comments are Mandarin. 95% of the videos are Mandarin. And while there is a huge number of people going over there from TikTok, at the end of the day, big one of the reasons that TikTok went so viral is because brand engagement, content creation, there is no way that type of integration is going to be able to happen on Rednote. Brands are not going to invest, in my opinion, like tens of millions of dollars into like an offshore app. That doesn't make any sense to me. Now, will it be fun to go over there? Sure, maybe. Did I see some really heartwarming videos where Chinese citizens are like, hey guys, like this is freaking awesome. Like we don't have an opportunity to like get to know other cultures that much. And like seeing you guys come over here, like it's really nice to kind of touch base with a different group of people. I thought that that was fun and fabulous. The only thing that has made me want to go over there so far is that actually, because in my mind, I kind of was like, yeah, in what world would we ever be able to have that much direct communication with a whole nother culture outside of literally visiting there? But I don't think that Red Note is going to be the solution. And maybe I'm going to be eating my words. Maybe in a month from now, I'll be on Red Note, but I really don't know. Also, people are talking about the Neptune app, which is still in the beta testing phase. Maybe that will be the next TikTok. The only thing that makes me feel like Neptune might not be the next TikTok is apparently one of their selling points over there is like no numbers. Like, don't focus on numbers, just focus on creativity. Like, all that is going to be like shadow, like hidden behind a wall. So, will it be nice to really just focus on entertainment and creation? Yes. Do I think that creators and brands are going to want to invest that much time over there? I don't know, because when you come down to the cold hard facts of it, it's like sometimes those numbers give you that boost of confidence, that momentum, get a brand to maybe notice you. You know, brands, although I'm sure we will still be able to give them the numbers, behind the fourth wall, it's like there is a momentum that you get when you know certain creators have millions of followers. They want to be with someone like with that brand recognizability. That's not a word. Don't come to me about that. Thank you so much. So I just don't know if we truly have a platform yet that is going to pop off like that. YouTube Shorts is another conversation. I don't know. But the reason I kind of rolled into this from the Spidey conversation is I guess the reason that Senator Markey, I don't know how to say his name, or is it him or her? Oh my God. Please. That might have been some passive sexism. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy. I'm so sorry. Senator Markey wants that 270-day extension because of what they are concerned is going to be the financial fallout from TikTok going away. Because at the end of the day, there are hundreds of thousands of businesses on TikTok, revenue coming from TikTok, small businesses that companies blew up on TikTok, and there is not another platform for them to go to where you can, one, monetize directly from your content, or two, have your business so readily available and easily picked up on an algorithm. So there will be a huge economic fallout from TikTok going away. People's livelihoods are on that app right now. Is that, maybe you could say, well, that's not other people's problem, I guess. But at the end of the day, like, there was a huge economic boost from TikTok, whether people want to admit it or not. And if you take that away, it will have a financial impact on this country, no matter what. So we're just going to have to wait and see how all that shakes out. I feel kind of weird with this episode because it would technically be the last episode you guys ever hear of me from TikTok if it goes away. So I guess what I do want to say is if TikTok does go away on the 19th and it is not brought back, because technically on the 20th, Donald Trump could like reinstate it. I don't know. Everything is so up in the air right now. I do want to say thank you for the platform. It really was amazing. And I don't want to do this long drawn out thing because things like the fire happened that kind of there's more to be concerned about right now in this world. Like, I don't make money on TikTok or anything like that. Like, there's not going to be any impact on me from TikTok going away other than ego. I had a lot of followers on there and not even a lot. I mean, 87,000-ish. Like, other people have way more than me. Like, it would really just be, well, I don't want to say just ego. I find creative emotional satisfaction from posting on TikTok. I really do. So I guess that is ego driven in a way. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't want to do this long drawn out like emotional thing when people have lost their homes and their livelihood, when the only thing that really is affecting me on TikTok is like my own creative outlet and, numbers. But I mean, it was important to me. Like, I felt like for the first time in a long time, people understood me. I feel like there's not a big number of people that really understand me. I think there's a small number of people that really understand me. I feel like my friend Heather Walker really understands me. I feel oh God, wait, I shouldn't say her whole name. I was trying to say a last name to like give her a shout out. There's a ton online. You won't be able to find her, but like I feel like my friends Heather and Heather understand me. I feel like my friend Brandon understands me. I feel like my friend Katie and Jordan understand me. I feel like I don't know who else really understands me outside of that deeply, but I felt like there was a huge group of people online who understood me, like, and understood the nuance of like my personality maybe. So thank you if you found me and liked me and gave me encouragement, truly. And if I'm here next week and TikTok isn't gone, I guess we'll just go from there. I don't know. It's all so confusing because at the same time, I was kind of starting to come to terms with it and go, well, maybe I'll make less content with more quality on YouTube. Maybe instead of posting 3 to 5 videos every day, I'll post 3 a week on YouTube that I really put like time and thought into. I think about what I'm posting now, but it's more off the cuff. It's more almost a day of my life. It's more thoughts coming out of my mind. Like I've been wanting to do a chicken sandwich taste test. Like Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, KFC, and, like stuff like that. Like all, battle of the chicken sandwiches. Like that would be more of a YouTube video. And I've been wanting to do that, but it's hard to make content for so many different platforms while it's not your full-time job. So I don't know. We'll just have to see how it all shakes out. But the last thing I want to talk about in the tequila time is Manjaro. And see how we didn't touch on too much pop culture this week? I'm not interested in too much pop culture this week outside of Spidey. But I want to talk about Manjaro and a little bit about my Manjaro weight loss journey. And please hold, I do need to get a sip of water. Now, remember I said I was scared of dead air? That was a practice in me letting go of that fear because I don't have a co-host right now and my throat was getting dry and I had to take a sip of water, okay? But let's talk about Manjaro. So a lot of people know that I lost 141 pounds. Now, apparently this week it's 137. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. But nevertheless, I had a recent weight loss. Now, this happened over about 2 years, and everyone wants to know, like, please give me the details. And let me preface this by saying, I am not a medical doctor. I know I'm a nurse. None of this has to do with my medical background at all. I am just a person talking right now. This is my own personal experience. Do not take any medical or weight loss advice from me. This is my own personal story. Thank you. I do not want to get sued and I don't want to have anyone's health in my hands. Thank you so much. I was always a little chubby throughout my entire life. My metabolism was slow, I feel. It didn't help that my mom, who I lived with for a short period of time when I was younger, fed us McDonald's all the time. But when my dad took us, he was really good at like giving us wild rice and salmon and stuff like that that's healthy. So I trimmed down quite a bit in high school. And we ate sardines and we ate cans of soup, specifically lentil, if you'd like to know. But the point is, as I trimmed down a little bit in high school, I did a lot of sports. And I remember in high school, I was 225 pounds. We're going to talk numbers here, okay? I was 225 pounds. Now, what ended up happening was I graduated high school. I had been a cheerleader, obviously a base. They're not throwing me. I'm not a flyer, but still. I did track and field, obviously not track. I did, disc and shot put. And I had done softball for a little bit. What I'm trying to say is I was playing sports. I was running around and I was also poor. So I was only eating sometimes, I would eat like a half a bagel a day because me and my friend Megan would scrounge up like $1.19 to get a butter and strawberry bagel from Bruegger's, and we would split that bagel. And that was what we would eat for the day. And then sometimes we would try to scrounge around and find food at night at her house. Now, was there rice in the cabinet and stuff we could have eaten? Of course. I'm not saying that we were starved. I'm just saying we were poor and we only wanted to eat what we wanted to eat. And you're a teenager and sometimes you don't want a damn can of lentil soup. So you're like, I'll just eat my bagel and that will be it. But even at that time, I was only 225 pounds. I graduated high school and all at the same time, I started working in a restaurant, food available to you all the time. I got on birth control, the Depot shot, which don't even get me started on the commercials I'm seeing for the Depot shot now. I was on the Depot shot for 10 years. Apparently, you're only supposed to be on it for 2. And now there's commercials going on right now. Like, were you on the Depot shot and now do you have a brain tumor? Call us. I'm like, oh, so do I have bad memory or do I have a brain tumor? Okay. I don't have headaches, so I don't think it's that. But still, it's like, my God. Like, we drugged ourselves from so young and then wonder why we're all verklempt when we're older. I got a boyfriend. Comfort weight gain. And I had money all of a sudden because I was really bringing in the dough working at Bahama Breeze, being a hostess. And then I became a prep cook. And then I became a server. And I had cash flowing in my pockets. So all of a sudden, I'm not working out anymore because I'm not doing sports in high school. I have a boyfriend. I'm eating late at night. I'm on the Depot shot. And I have money to spend. Oh my God. Slowly but surely, I gained a lot of weight, like over 100 pounds. At my heaviest weight, was 340 pounds. I know it's hard to believe now because I'm so snatched, but that happened probably within, I want to say 2 or 3 years. And when I tell you that no one knows more about dieting than someone who is failing at dieting, over about the next 10 years, I tried everything. I don't know if it was my self-control. I don't know if I just felt like I had an insatiable appetite. Like, I could eat a Big Mac, a large fry, 10-piece chicken nugget, and then an hour later, eat more. And it was obviously the accumulation of my own willpower, stretching my stomach out. But here's the thing. I tried so many times to lose weight. Monday was always the next diet. Monday was always when I was going to start over. I was always going to work out. I would do so good, joined Weight Watchers, did everything that you're supposed to do, but I just could not basically control myself. Like, that's the way I'm going to put it. Like, I would do so good for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then, 10 o'clock would roll around and I was an animal, like a ravenous animal, eating everything in sight. I'm sure some of it was depression. A lot of it was feeling like there was so much weight to lose that what's the point? Like almost like, oh, I lost a pound in 10 days, only, 160 more. Like it just felt like a mountain that I could not climb. Um, so I did that for years. I felt like outside of my own self. I didn't feel myself at all. And then a few years ago, I started hearing about these GLP-1s, Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, and how it was this miracle drug. Now, I would hear all the time that like it just turned off this switch in your brain that made you think about food all the time. And I have a very compulsive mind. Like I really ruminate on things and things turn in my mind and they won't go away until I satiate that. Like let's say I know that there was an Oreo on the counter. That would consume my brain. My mind would just constantly think, yes, no, no, you made the decision. No, you said no. No, okay, well, maybe yes. But then, okay, I know today's Monday, but no, okay, so maybe I'll start Tuesday. Like, nothing would stop my mind until I ate the Oreo. So I would hear that things like Wegovy, Mounjaro, Ozempic would stop that compulsive thought in your mind. Um, and when I heard that, honestly, in my mind I thought, well, that's fine for them, but but that is not going to be how it affects me because my mind is broken. So even if it just helps my body, burn fat or lose weight, that's not how it works, but like even if it just helps me lose weight, and I still overeat, like maybe I'll have a little bit of help. Like because it won't shut off that compulsion in my mind, because I can't be fixed, I can't be cured with that, you know? But at least maybe it'll help me a little bit physically, physiologically, and the mental stuff will just not go away. And let me tell you something. The things I read about Mounjaro was it delayed gastric emptying, it helped you feel full longer. And when I hear stuff like that, like, oh, it helps you feel full longer, like to me, even in my weight loss, like they would say, oh, just eat a bunch of protein. It'll help you feel full longer. And I would eat protein, a bunch of chicken breast, grilled chicken breast. I would still be banging down my fridge's door an hour later, ready for the next thing. So I would hear all these things and go, well, I'm sure that might, quote, help them. But I don't think it's going to help me, but I just still want to try it because it's a miracle drug, apparently. And let me tell you, the day I took that shot, my life changed. The food noise in my mind went away immediately. Immediately. I mean, let's say maybe it took a few days to set in, but like that ruminating of like pasta, dinner, gnocchi, linguine, steak, it went away. When I tell you, you could put a piece of pizza in front of my face and I would feel nothing. I mean, I would feel happy and satiated and like, oh, I love pizza. But it wasn't this nonstop churning in my mind of I want the whole pizza. Oh, okay, well, there's 3 of us at the table and there's 16 slices. That's this many slices each. But like, do you think maybe she won't eat all her slices and I could have one of my slices? It was like this. Oh, I had a slice and now I feel fine. Or, oh, yeah, let's get pizza tonight. But I had no emotional attachment to like, but instead of fries, let's get a salad instead, like to add some veggies to it. It just somehow made food more of like an object to me and not a mental soothing to me. Now, I do want to describe it in a way that it was like, to me, how I kind of felt was, when you're eating and you almost start to feel like you're getting full. So you still have 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 bites and they're really good and tasty and you love them, but you're going, ooh, I'm about to be done. That is like almost how you start when you start eating with Mounjaro. So you still enjoy what you're eating, you still are excited for dinner. Like I hear a lot of people say like, I just love food too much and in the process of it and the relationship and the dinner and the enjoyment of it, like that I don't want to be on it because I don't want that to go away. I still enjoy food. I mean, half of my TikTok viewers are like from my unique eating series. Like obviously I still enjoy food, but it's almost like when I start, I'm already almost halfway done. And it takes no work from me. Like that's the thing that people are like, well, um, it's cheating. Okay, then I cheated. But I'm happy and I'm not, and my body's happy because before when I would eat 7 slices of pizza, my body isn't going to go, well, now, Chloe, you only ate 1 slice of pizza and a salad, but you cheated. So we don't want you to do Manjaro. No, like that's not how it is. My body's like, thank you, Queen, for not killing us anymore. Like, thank you, Queen, for not stuffing our entire body with cholesterol. Like, my blood pressure went from like 160s over 90s, hundreds to 114 over 70. Like, I'm 34. It legitimately, truly, probably saved my life. And so if you think it's cheating, who cares? I don't care. If you think, well, what happens if you stop taking it and gain it all back? Well, then for 3.5 years, my body had a break. For 3.5 years, I wasn't 340 pounds. I'm 195 at my lowest right now. And I just weighed myself today and was like 1 freaking 99. I don't know why, but who knows? Maybe I'm starting my period. But like, great. So for 3 years, my body had 140 pounds off of it. Okay, so what? I gained it all back. What does it concern you? A lot of people don't want to do it because they're concerned what other people think. And one thing that I really am appreciative with TikTok is like, it made me just go, this is who I am, take me or leave me. There's a bunch of people who get me and who appreciate me, and there's a bunch of people who don't, and I don't give a fuck about you. So, great. You think it's cheating. You think I didn't do it the right way. Who the fuck are you in my life for it to matter what you think of me? I've had a lot of people, even in my own life, who have said like, I would do it. I just want to, but I want to do it the right way. What's the right way? I lost the weight. Like, I'm able to control myself. I'm able to eat. Like, for example, this week at work, we all ordered Chick-fil-A. Do you know 3 years ago, before I started Manjaro, there wouldn't have been a thing in this world that would have allowed me to not order a chicken sandwich? It would have consumed my mind. I should get the salad, but I want the chicken sandwich. I need the chicken sandwich. And then at the end of the day, no matter what, I would have gotten the chicken sandwich and probably a fry and probably a chicken nugget too. And then ate that and then gone to the cafeteria. But what? Oh my God. Oh my God, there's hail outside. And I thought it was my puppies walking upstairs. And I put a gate up, so I was really confused. But it's just hail. The world's ending. But you know what I did? Because I have been feeling like kind of bloated and like I kind of went crazy during the holidays and all that. I got a chicken salad and it was fine. And I got grilled chicken, not fried chicken. Like that is what Manjaro is able to make me do. So I would say I started taking Manjaro. It is a shot once a week in adipose tissue, so in like fatty areas. So my day is every Wednesday. That's when I get my shot. You get a pack of 4 at a time, so you get a month pack, and then every week you give yourself a tiny little shot. Is it prickly and pokey? Of course, but like it lasts 2 seconds. You can do your thigh, you can do your belly, you can do the back of your arm. If you hear my dog Luna barking, she's just really excited about my weight loss journey. But I can move now. I can be free. I cannot be restricted by the constraints of my, obesity. So I would just say that's how I did it. Now I will say I lost the weight over the last 2 years. But now this year I really do need to focus on increasing my what do we call it? Stamina. Like I really do need to get outside and run around, and I think I do need to lift weights. My brother texts me all the time and says, "You need to start lifting weights, Chloe. My sister wants me to go hiking with her." Like that to me seems like there couldn't be a worse thing in this world than hiking, but maybe I'll like it. I don't know. I did like boxing. I used to do that. So maybe I'll pick boxing back up. And my boxing coach, Nick, he said I had a great power. So maybe I'll pick boxing back up. But you didn't, I told you I am going to be running around that damn Annapolis acting like a workout girl. So that will be my next focus of like my weight loss journey. As you can see here on the YouTube video, I do have this turkey gobbler, which is the bane of my existence. And that is also why I'm willing to work 2 jobs this year. Actually, I'll have 3 because I'm still at Pittsburgh. Oh, I didn't say the hospital. Whew, sweat off my brow. You all know my home hospital's in Pittsburgh, so that's no surprise. But I'm still at my home hospital in Pittsburgh. But I will have 3 jobs, and I think I'll work my damn ass off figuratively because I'm going to try to build my ass and I'm going to try to get my neck cut off, hopefully this year. Now, enough with Mounjaro. If you have any more specific questions, let me just do a few more. I haven't had any major side effects. My biggest side effect is I'm just going to say it, constipation. And I try to work really hard on drinking a lot of water to, get around that. But in general, I've had no side effects at all. I don't get headaches. When I first started out, I had a little bit of, what's it called when you stay up all night? Narcolepsy, or is that when you sleep? Insomnia. And I did have insomnia for about 2 or 3 months, and that went away. But I also was doing night shift for the first time in a long time, so I can't really tell if my insomnia was from night shift or was it from my medication. I'm not sure. But overall, no side effects. I feel great. I lost a shit ton of weight. My food noise went away. It almost cured my OCD. I had pretty bad OCD. I'm sure you guys still see a few tendencies online. But I used to have crippling OCD. Maybe I'll do a full episode on that later. That was actually ruining my life and my relationship and my home. But I think that the compulsive thoughts that were related to food, because it quiets compulsion in general, I think it really almost made my compulsion with my OCD almost go away. So I love it. Now, I do want to start to wrap up here. I wanted to talk about the TV show called The Pit on HBO. I don't know if it's on HBO or HBO Max. I don't know if that's the same thing. I don't know if that's a different thing. I don't know why they made streaming so confusing. But what I know is it's in the HBO family. It might technically be on Max. Google it, and I think it'll come up for you. The Pit is a medical TV show on HBO Max. And the reason I wanted to bring it up is because I feel like not enough people are talking about it. Now, here it's about an emergency room in Pittsburgh. Now, the name is a double entendre, okay? They call the emergency room, a lot of people call the emergency room The Pit, and it's filmed in Pittsburgh. Well, technically they made a replica of the hospital in Hollywood, but they filmed a lot of outdoor shots and city shots in Pittsburgh, and it's supposed to be a replica of a Pittsburgh hospital. Now, I will say some inside baseball that I know is that one of the doctors in our emergency room consulted on it. And what I will tell you is every healthcare worker that I have seen watch that TV show says it is the most accurate representation of the medical field that they have seen to date. It is really following true medical diagnoses, processes, terminology, and it is really heavily focused on what it would actually be like in an emergency room. And this is why I really, really like it. The entire season is 15 hours. There's 15 episodes. But how they have the TV show playing out is each episode, right? There's 15 episodes, is 1 hour of the same shift. So the 15 episodes is supposed to be in totality 1 day in the emergency room. So, like, the first episode is from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. The second episode is from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. The third episode will be from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So, the entire season is only one day. So, to me, it gives like this really, really accurate representation of what a day is like with a healthcare professional, maybe not in all fields, but in the medical field now, or in the ER, okay, or in city hospitals, really high acuity hospitals, or really busy hospitals that are short staffed. So a few things I wanted to point out after watching the first two episodes, and the star of it is it Noah Wiley or Noah Weil? He played an ER. I know the last name is Weil for sure, Wyle. I mean, his acting is phenomenal. His acting is amazing. I cannot believe how good his acting was in this TV show. The emotion that he is giving is very similar to how I have felt many times in the healthcare setting. So I do want to say that shout out to him first of all. Like he was amazing in this TV show. And there's only 2 episodes out so far, but to me there's a few things that have happened so far that really do like reflect to me like the real life nature of this TV show. First and foremost, sometimes I think TV shows can like almost like glaze over like Hollywoodify the medical field and kind of put almost like a Prince Charming kind of spin on it or like a Hollywood spin on it. But like in this TV show, for example, one doctor says to another doctor, like, hey, you have the med students, by the way, today. And the Noah Weil, I hope his name is Noah. It might not be, but Weil. In the TV show, he's like, lucky me. Like, that is realistic. That is what people say. I mean, there might be a small subset of people that are like, oh, I love that. Yay. Woohoo. But like in reality, when you come in and you're like, hey, you're orienting today, normally people are like, okay, so I'm not going to have a fun day then. Like people are not happy to have orientees. They like teaching people and learning and making sure things are done the right way. But like, you know, it adds a different element to your day when you're orienting someone. Or there was a point in the TV show where things are going on and there's 1,000 things moving, but 2 colleagues pass each other and one just goes nice. Like that is very realistic. Like to have these like really short, like, you know, each other, you're connecting, you say one thing and in the world doesn't even stop when you're saying that. Like me and my coworkers all the time will be in a room and you'll just say one word, tape, board, like, and we just know what we're saying to each other. And there's no context behind it. You just know what they mean. And there's really, really heavy medical terminology in the show, which is all accurate. I mean, it's pinpoint accurate. There is no, you know, we joke in the medical industry where it's like, you know, they, for example, when you need to shock someone with a defibrillator, a lot of times in the TV show, you see the monitor go like beep, 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 like a flat line. And then they go, get the defibrillator, we're going to shock. You cannot shock asystole. You cannot shock when someone has no heart rate at all. You have to have a heart rate that is irregular or in some type of arrhythmia, like VTAC. You can shock that. There has to be some kind of electrical current happening in your heart for you to use the paddles. Every TV show you see people quote flatline and then they shock them back. In this TV show, they're only shocking VTAC. Like that is accurate. And then there is a part in the TV show where someone does have no heart rate at all. No, you know, they flatline essentially. And a student goes, we should shock them. And then another doctor says you can't shock a flatline. Like you can't shock asystole. So things like that are really alluring about the TV show. Also, I've had a lot of ER nurses say that that's the most accurate representation they've ever seen. I don't work in the ER, but I work in a fast-paced type of specialty in the hospital, and we go to the ER a lot. We go to codes. We go to really high intense situations as a consulting service. So I've seen some of what we're seeing in this TV show, but then I've had a lot of friends who have worked in the ER who say that that is unbelievably accurate. The other reason I appreciated this TV show is if you have a spouse who's not in the medical field and you are in the medical field, I would highly encourage them to watch this with you, because like during the second hour, when it was from 8 to 9 and it said from 8 to 9, my boyfriend said to me, "Oh my God, wait, all that happened in an hour? Like we're only in the first hour of the shift. Now it's getting into the second hour." And I was like so appreciative of this TV show to be able to say, yeah, like, sometimes when I come home and I say like I can't express, like you don't have a context of how my day went. That's what I mean. Like everything that you just saw, and not that I'm even ever like as busy as this TV show, but like sometimes like it's the general air of it. Like, yes, that much stuff happened in an hour, and there was still then like 11 more hours I had to do. So yes, when I say like I have nothing to give at the end of 3 shifts, that's what I mean. And it was like the first time where he was able to really like consolidate what a healthcare worker's day might be like. Now, again, I don't make being a nurse a personality trait, because I don't like when people make other people's medical trauma their content. So this isn't like, I'm not trying to make this, like, this is not going to be a nurse-driven show. I just wanted to say that this TV show is freaking awesome. If you were in the medical field, I would highly recommend you watch it, because it almost validates some of your feelings. It kind of makes you feel seen. And if you are a spouse, you should watch it. Or, maybe a dad or a sister or a brother, because it really will help you understand like what someone you live with or work with or, have a relationship to in the medical field might go through. And then if you're just looking for a good ass TV show with good writing, good cinematography, a good storyline, watch this show. It freaking is amazing. Like, it truly is amazing. Now, of course, we're going to close out. We're at like almost an hour and 20 minutes. I cannot shut the hell up. It's insane. But I do want to close out with my week's Sarah. Chic, c'est la vie. Ça va. It's actually ça va. I wrote that down wrong on my sheet, and I have to say the whole phrase to remember it. So this week's Chic, c'est la vie. Ça va. Where I shout out someone who really stood up and did something freaking stellar this week that I want to shout out, is Jamie Lee Curtis. She was the first celebrity I saw to put forward like a really huge chunk of money to the wildfires out in LA. She pledged $1 million donation, and I really just love seeing someone put their money where their mouth is, and donate to helping get people back on their feet. The humanity that I'm seeing right now in LA is really, really beautiful. Of course, a lot of other people have pledged since then. I know that Skims is donating like undergarments. Peter Thomas Roth is donating like face care and like toiletry type stuff, like shampoos, conditioners, stuff like that. I know Beyonce is donating $2.5 million. But Jamie Lee Curtis to me was the first person I saw to give a huge chunk of personal money. Like, I know Amazon and stuff is donating. They're a huge company. And I feel like it really lit a fire under people's ass to like get money out there. Like, if you're rich, give it up, honey. Like, people need help right now. So it's a crazy week. The world is weird. Please stay sane if you can. We're all in this together. You can find me on Instagram. I am on Talking to Tequila everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, like that is my handle, Talking to Tequila. If TikTok is still here next week, okay, I have no idea what this week is going to bring. the inauguration is happening. So by the time I see you next week, it's going to be 1,000 lives that have been lived. But stay safe, rate, review, subscribe, share my clips, because I'm going to be here for you guys. Just like you were here for me, I'm going to be here for you. We are a community tequila. We're a community tequila. And I'm not going anywhere. We're in this together, honey. And whether you like it or not, you're a part of my clique now, and you're part of my crew. And I'm going to be here for you, and you're going to be here for me. And until next time, stay safe, stay sane, and God bless us this week.